Awesome. Well, welcome to our GR Giving Day live podcast. So I'm excited to have you guys on where we're going to just have a nice conversation with some nonprofits that are doing amazing things. So welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So why don't we start by just going around the room here and just introducing yourself and where you're from and what you're doing.
Yeah. Hi, my name's Nokomis. I'm from Grand Rapids here. I work at AYA Youth Collective. Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Rick Armbruster, and I'm the executive director and founder of Upcycle Bikes, and we're really happy to be here. I'm part of the Grand Rapids Giving Day.
And I am Carol Hallas. I'm the project manager at Upcycle Bikes.
Awesome. Well, good to have you guys. I'm excited for GR Giving Day, December 3. It's coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, I would love to go around again and just share with us, like, what is AYA doing? And then Upcycle Bikes. I would love to hear a little bit more about each of your organizations. And I know there's a collaboration, which we'll hit on too.
Okay.
So
Absolutely. Yeah. So AYA stands for As You Are. I just like to put that out there because you see the AYA everywhere. But we are a drop-in center and a housing program for 14 to 24-year-olds that are experiencing homelessness here in Grand Rapids. We have seen over 730 youth this past year that are coming into our doors, and we have 12 homes in Grand Rapids that we have for youth that are experiencing some level of instability. So we meet youth where they are. We walk alongside them as they're navigating what does stability look like? What does transportation look like? What does employment look like? All of those things that are really difficult to navigate. And we have supportive adults. We have the community. We have community partners that we work with so that we can make sure that youth are getting all those resources as they're kind of figuring out what is it like to be 14 to 24 and what is it like to reach stability.
that's really sounds like a really worthy organization.
It's a pretty cool place.
How long have you guys been doing that for?
So also, we are actually celebrating our 10-year anniversary of our drop-in center this December, which is really exciting. So we're glad we're able to be part of Giving Day as we're getting close to this huge celebration. A little backstory for those who might not know. AYA is actually a merging of two different nonprofits back in February of 2020. If you can remember that time, it was a great time for a merger. So we were HQ and 311 Youth Housing, and we merged together to make sure that we could have the housing, but also the community resources and the drop-in space, making sure that we're kind of meeting youth in multiple different areas.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Glad to have you.
Great. Well, thanks. And Nokomis, I'm glad you mentioned stability because that's what Upcycle Bikes is really trying to facilitate. So we are a young organization, a little over 2 years old, and we collect used adult bikes, we refurbish them, and then we donate them back into the community to provide an affordable transportation resource for individuals. So the goal is to provide an opportunity and a resource to help create that stability. We're not really about bikes. We're about helping individuals find access to community and community resources. I would say one of the biggest benefits of our bikes and an affordable transportation resource is access to employment, finding employment, keeping employment, maintaining it. But it's also access to healthcare resources, to education, to social services and so on. I mean, that bike can be that lifeline. We work with AYA. We provide them with bikes, and we also provide bikes to over 30 organizations in the community that are servicing refugees and homeless individuals and domestic abuse victims and people in addiction programs and mental health programs. You name it. Anybody with severe financial constraints, that needs to get from A to B. And one of the nice things, so of our 30 organizations that we provide bikes to, I have to admit I haven't read all of their mission statements, but I would be willing to bet that the word transportation does not exist in their mission statements. But what they have all told us is that transportation is one of the top barriers that their clients are facing right now. And so something as simple as upcycling a bike can provide them with a great resource to help build that stability moving forward.
That is super cool. That's awesome. Yeah. And you were just discussing how many bikes you were giving it. Well, how many would you say in the last 2 years?
Well, so since we've started, we've had a little over 2,000 bikes donated to us. So that's in 2 years. So, and we can talk about, the bike collection process. But then we've refurbished and donated back out We're probably approaching 1,300 bikes in
That's
2
amazing.
years. So some of them obviously don't make the cut, right? I mean,
Right.
they have to get recycled or whatever. But yeah, and then to AYA. AYA was our second partner that we started to distribute bikes to, and we've probably given them about 150 bikes over the last 2 years to serve their clients.
It's been huge for our youth. We just talk about stability so much and what that means for our youth, and being able to have employment and keep employment, and being able to have housing and keeping housing. And if you don't have transportation, all of those things are so much harder. So we want to, it's been amazing working with Upcycle Bikes, because our youth now have access to a bike and a helmet and a bike lock, which keeps their bike safe. Recently, he also provided us with laws of the road, so that youth could understand a little bit more about what is the responsibility of owning a bike on the road, and what kind of laws do you need to understand, so you can be, getting around the city safely.
That's super cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so we started out by giving out bikes, which is great. It's great to give an individual a bike and to give them that independence. But there's more to it than that, right? Mm-hmm. So this year we started, augmenting that package by providing a helmet and providing a lock so that bike doesn't get stolen, providing the sort of rules of the road brochure, providing lights. So, there's a little backpack that we have that we hand everybody. So it's got all that stuff in it. So we're really excited about that. And then moving forward in 2025, we have a couple new programs that we're going to start around low-cost bike maintenance and service. And also some education for our partners as well. So
That's
we'll be
cool.
reaching
I'm
out to you about
excited.
that. Yeah.
That sounds great.
So what age range of bikes, what size bikes, I guess?
Well, yeah. So we in this case, we do focus on the bike, and we talk about adult-sized bikes. Mm-hmm. So it's really anything with a 26-inch wheel or bigger. So anything that's got a 24-inch wheel or smaller is a kid-sized bike.
Yes.
So we don't do the kids' bikes, and people ask us this all the time, but we don't do the kids' bikes for a couple of reasons. One is, our mission, we started with our mission of providing that transportation resource to get people access to community and community resources. So we're really focused on adults with that. From an operational standpoint, if we start, so there's very little standardization in the bike world. And if you start to add in all the different sizes of kids' bikes, then you've got a whole new set of parts and components and things like that you need to stock, which we, that would be a lot harder for us to do.
Yeah.
But we could also easily get overwhelmed with kids' bikes.
Yes.
Which would take us away from our mission, and we don't really want to do that.
That makes perfect sense. The reason I was asking is because I literally cleaned out my garage, stuck my kid's bike in the trash can next to the trash can, thinking, where am I going to put this thing? So not there.
Not there. Yeah. We do say, maybe if it's functional, if it works, put it on Facebook.
Yes.
For free.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Very cool mission. Oh my gosh. Both of you guys have such
Thank you.
great organizations you guys are working for. Carol, anything you want to add? I know that you came on as a last minute joiner, but anything you would want to add to the mission of what you guys are doing at Upcycle Bikes?
Well, it's absolutely thrilling when we get a glimpse of the impact that Upcycle Bikes is making in the community, especially with AYA. For these youth, getting a bicycle means a sense of empowerment and ownership and pride. Mm-hmm. And it gives them an opportunity to find success, to own success, and to be responsible for their own path. And it's absolutely thrilling to see the look on their face. And that is a gift that I get to enjoy every day.
That's so cool. That's awesome. Really cool. And how can they get involved? How can people get involved with you guys as organizations? We'll talk about GR Giving Day in a second,
Okay.
But how can they just get involved in general?
Yeah, so there's a million ways. Whether you come in and volunteer, we always need volunteers. We see 60 youth a day that come through our drop-in doors. That's quite a few people, quite a lot of people. So we want to make sure that we have the right amount of people to support them, but also a clean space, a space that's empowering and it's dignifying and it's welcoming. We also need meal donations every single day because we do serve those 60 people. So we want to make sure we're giving them a hot meal. Financially, you can always become a recurring donor. That's huge for us, is to have recurring donors. Like $40 a month gets bus passes for our youth. $5 a month covers sack lunches. We just want to make sure that we can keep all the funding coming in from different ways. So we work with a lot of different community partners to make sure we have a bunch of different resources at our space. I always say we're kind of a hub for youth because, as we all know, transportation is a huge issue for our youth to be able to get around the city, to get to all their different appointments and to get to different jobs and housing and all the things that they have to navigate right now. So we would love for them just to come to our space. So having volunteers in the space to help us kind of navigate that is really, really key. And our website is amazing and comprehensive. So you can go to our website. It's just ayouth.org/volunteer. If you're interested in volunteering, you'll get connected with me and then we'll get you started.
Nice. Well, can you maybe high level, what kind of when you say volunteers,
absolutely.
What can they expect?
We have a few different things. One is serving the meal. So we always need someone to serve the meal. It's a great way to kind of get to know everybody in the space and get to know the youth, because a lot of our youth come back day after day. So you become a familiar face. It's somebody that they can trust and rely on to come and be there. We also have somebody who can do this thing called running a list. So we have a hallway of all of our basic needs, where we store things like jackets and boots and foot warmers and hand warmers and all of the necessities that youth may need. The volunteer gets to do a little shopping. So they take the list that the youth fill out every single day, go back to that list, grab those items and bring it out to the youth. We also always need help with cleaning. That's a huge one. And if your organization or your group is looking for group volunteer opportunities, we have those Monday through Friday from 9 to 11, and you kind of get to do a mix of everything. You do it while youth are not in the space, but you get to help clean and get the space ready and prepare sack lunches and just be another supportive hand in the morning, because there's a lot of folks that come through our doors. So we want to make sure we're ready for them.
Nice. That's really cool. And what's the biggest need you guys have in terms of volunteers out of all of those you mentioned?
Yeah, I would say mostly just consistent folks that can be in the space. So we love when people can come like once a month or once a week, whatever they can kind of handle. But we like to make sure that our youth have people that they can rely on. That's really important. So if you can come for 2 hours on a Monday once a month or 2 hours every single week, whatever you have the capability for, it's really important. And honestly, like I said, just the stability part of it is really key. So you can just come and serve meal, or you can come and do the donation list. Those things are important, but mostly just having more supportive adults in the space is really key to their success and making sure that they feel safe and comfortable.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Absolutely.
How about yourself?
Well, Nokomis, I love to hear you talk about AYA, because I'll tell you that AYA is one of our benchmark organizations. I mean, we're only 2 years old. We're still in startup mode, but to look at what you guys have accomplished has been huge, and we really look up to what you guys are doing. I would say, I would answer the question in a similar way. People ask all the time, what are your greatest needs? And it comes down to three things for us: funding. We need funding, we need bikes, and we need volunteers. So on the volunteer front, we are still growing that, but we have regular volunteers that come down and work in the shop and help us clean and fix bikes, and that's amazing. And we have a really great time together, hanging out, playing with bikes, listening to music, eating treats. So we have fun doing that, and having that regularity is ideal. It helps us as an organization, but it's also really fun for the volunteers because they learn a new skill, right? And have a good time with that. So having the volunteers in the shop is great. But as we grow, we are identifying other volunteer needs as well. Certainly cleaning the shop would be great. We're working on developing a volunteer event planning committee for our big fundraising event that we hold in the fall. It's a dream of mine to find somebody with a van or a trailer that could help us transport bikes. We don't do a lot of delivering bikes, although we do to AYA. And that would be
a very fun day. Yeah. There are bikes everywhere.
So you don't ride every bike over?
No,
Okay.
we don't ride every bike over. But having someone to help deliver bikes or pick up bikes, would be really helpful. So there are a lot of volunteer opportunities, and even administrative things like helping, with maintaining a website, or with social media or things like that. I mean, if there's anybody that's sort of inspired by our mission, even if you don't know how to or don't want to work on bikes, there's probably an opportunity to get involved since we are in startup mode. So that's really important. Collecting bikes is big. As I said, we've had about 1,000 bikes donated to us in our 2 years. 2,000 bikes donated to us in our 2 years. Part of that is as we're better known, people are just dropping them off. We have a couple individuals that are dropping off a total of about 30 bikes today. Which is awesome. We get them from the police department. We get them from the Rapid. We get them from college campuses. apartment complexes, you name it. But the other thing that we do is we're very intentional about collecting bikes, and we will host bike drives. So we will partner with an REI or a Steelcase or a Mayflower Church to collect bikes and to tap into their congregations or their communities to access that. So if there's an organization out there that would be interested in hosting a bike drive, we could certainly do that. And it's super easy. It just requires a little bit of promotion, and it's fun. But then the funding thing obviously is huge for any nonprofit to build capacity and to build impact. Funding is sort of the fuel that makes all of that happen, right? And for us, especially in startup mode, donations and funding are really important. So, yeah, we're always looking for new donors. Recurring donors are great, and to help build the organization. So, yeah, I would say funding, volunteers, and bikes. Those are the big things for us.
Nice, very cool. Well, you mentioned a big event that you guys have in the fall. I don't know if Carol, you want to mention it, or Rick, you want to talk. So,
well, it's a big undertaking, and the fact that we're only 2 years old with very little experience in event execution was a little mind blowing. But we did it, and we did it well. And we had over 200 people attend this year, and the feedback was so amazing. I think the common feedback was that it was actually fun. And I don't know if many people can say that about going to a fundraiser, but
it's got the word in it.
We loved seeing all of our partners, the representatives that we work with to distribute the bicycles, that are so proud of what we've achieved. And with that relationship, what an awesome opportunity to celebrate the success that we've seen. We had great food. We had great times. We had a silent auction, including bicycles for sale through a silent auction opportunity. And we're already looking at venues for next year and hoping to amp it up a little.
Very cool. That is awesome. Cool. Well, speaking of events, GR Giving Day. So I would love to hear from you guys of what are your hopes by being involved with GR Giving Day? What do you hope that'll do for the organization? So we'll start here.
I mean, honestly, just everybody knowing about AYA is just so important. Whether you need the services or someone that knows someone that knows someone that needs the services, we want to make sure that anybody in Grand Rapids that is sleeping outside or experiencing instability or is figuring out transportation or employment or all of the things that go along with reaching stability in the long run, we want to make sure that they know about AYA. We know that there's quite a few youth sleeping on the street right now, and we know that there's a lot of even more youth that are in between housing or trying to navigate that or at risk of losing housing. So we want to make sure that they know that we exist. However, also we're always interested in more donors. We always want to make sure that we can keep our doors open, literally. So we want to make sure that we have people that care about the community and care about us as well. We love having people. We love having donors. We love having those people around. But what we care about mostly is having a community of people that care about us. And we love our volunteers. We love our donors. We love our youth. We love everybody that comes together to make every single day happen at AYA.
Right.
Yeah, I think we're really excited and intrigued by Grand Rapids Giving Day. As a young organization, this helps us provide leverage. We have limited capacities right now to do some of the things that we need to do as an organization. And by being a part of Grand Rapids Giving Day, it provides us leverage to tap into other resources and other potential donors and to build awareness, as Nokomis said. So that's phenomenal. There are so many nonprofit organizations doing great work in Grand Rapids. And Grand Rapids is an incredible community of collaboration and philanthropic support. And this is another way to tap into that and to support all the organizations that are doing great work and to support all the organizations that are collaborating together. I've been amazed. I don't come from the nonprofit world, so I've been amazed at how much collaboration there is between organizations and how much overlap there is and how much good we're all doing together with the support of the community. And I think Grand Rapids Giving Day is a way to recognize that, to celebrate that, and to leverage that, and to build something I think that will probably be pretty unique to this community and to continue to see that grow over time.
That's really cool. Do you guys, what would be a big win at the end of GR Giving Day for you guys as organizations? Like people walk, at the end of GR Giving Day, what would that look like if you called it a win?
Yeah, I mean, of course, funding.
Yeah.
Any and all funding
Any
is a win.
specific goal?
I mean, I know that we are trying to reach $5,000 for our own individual nonprofits, so that is our goal. But we're also we're not trying to reinvent the wheel when it comes to nonprofit. And like what Rick was saying, there are so many places doing such great work. So we're also building relationships with all of the other nonprofits that are involved in this group of people that are part of GR Giving Day. So it's important for us to get to know every single person that's there because we probably all have something that we relate on in some way. So, I mean, I'm really glad I'm sitting next to Rick because we do a lot of great work together, and we literally wouldn't be able to provide our youth with the transportation that we do if we didn't have the bikes available to us. And that's just kind of like one example of how we can't all do this on our own. So GR Giving Day is a really unique and special way to bring all these people together, and I think that is a win in itself.
You're absolutely right. Yep.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I think it comes down to collaboration. I mean, like I said before, we distribute our bikes through partner organizations like AYA, and our model is intentionally built around collaboration and working with others. And GR Giving Day is just another opportunity for us to build awareness and to build scale. So, I would love on the funding front, yes, this is important to us. I will freely admit that the last 2 years around Giving Tuesday, we have not done a good job. We did not have a strategy, the capacity to do anything substantial around Giving Tuesday. And being a part of GR Giving Day provides us that leverage and that opportunity on the funding front. But more than that, this is going to help us grow as an organization. When we come together with, I think it's 50 nonprofit organizations, that's great. There are, as Upcycle Bikes wants to extend our reach, there are populations that we're not reaching at any sort of depth right now. We could do more with veterans and would love to be exposed to organizations that are servicing veterans. We could do more with the Hispanic population and would love to be exposed to organizations that are serving that group. So GR Giving Day is going to help provide some of those introductions and exposures for us to help us continue to scale and grow. So we're really excited about it.
Very cool. Awesome. Anything, Carol, you would want to add?
Well, there's a lot of ways to give, and there are a lot of ways to help the Grand Rapids community. And we obviously are supportive of anyone that would love to help us financially, but it's also important for us to gain bikes and to get volunteers. So give of your time, give of your personal time, gather your corporate team and come together as a team to do some team building in our workshop. Giving Day just means think about how you can help the Grand Rapids community to make it a better place.
That's a great ending to our podcast. Oh,
I want to add one thing. When we think about GR Giving Day in its whole, you asked at the end of the day, what would be a win? What would that look like? I would love to see a large audience there. I would love to see a celebration. I would love to see, clapping and hugs and smiles. And I would love to see a follow-up on LinkedIn and social media with all kinds of people and individuals posting about GR Giving Day and the success and the fun and the collaboration so that this continues to grow year after year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm looking forward to it.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, guys, I really appreciate your time jumping on the podcast, learning more about your organizations. I'm excited for GR Giving Day. We all are. So thanks again for joining and sharing a little bit about your nonprofits.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.